Councilwoman, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Councilwoman, talk a little bit about the President's decision today to basically implement the DREAM Act, a decision that's going to impact a lot of young children, immigrant children. How do you feel about it, and talk a little bit about it?
I'm very happy to hear that the president is given the opportunity and the pathway to citizenship to so many well-deserving people. For far too long, many of the kids or young adults who have registered to serve in our armed forces or who have wanted to attend college were not treated like other kids because they didn't have the documentation. And I can't imagine what their life was like living in the shadows. And now, I know that there were so many people who were in detention centers about to be deported, and that's unfortunate. The good thing is that that's not going to happen. I know a lot of families were broken up already, and this is a good way to get people to become U.S. citizens, and I'm excited.
Councilwoman, talk about your Latino outreach of your campaign. What are you doing to basically, get the Latino vote? It's depending on how close it is, it could play a major role in the vote.
Look, you know what? This campaign is about getting the economy back on track. So no matter what ethnic background you are, I think you want to make sure that our economy is strong. And right now, it's still recovering. There's so many people out of work. It could be yourself, it could be a loved one. You are struggling, many people are struggling, and the Latino community is struggling just as much, if not more, in some areas with unemployment. And it's so important to elect a congressional representative that's going to go to Washington and fight for those dollars to make businesses, help small businesses expand, hire new jobs, and to bring our troops back from Afghanistan and start spending the money that we're spending in Afghanistan over here on job growth. One big project that I'm supporting is the Helmets to Hard Hats program, or just more hard hats out there, more construction jobs. Before I ran for city council, some of the work that I've done was once I was a painter on construction sites, a decorative painter, and I know what it's like to work hard and how important it is to receive a fair day's work. There's so many people out there that would love an opportunity at a good construction job, and there's so much strengthening of our infrastructure, be it the new roadways, bridges, building schools, different projects that could help move our city in the right direction. And we need to make sure we send representatives to Washington to get those dollars, bring them back here to make sure people go back to work. And I know for the Latino community, because after I was a painter, they nominated me for work at a nonprofit called the Consortium for Worker Education, where we helped all communities find better roadways to employment. And I worked in a lot of different smaller communities around New York City, establishing English second language programs and GED programs or access to union jobs. And that experience, I learned how important it is just even to get basic classes and basic workforce programs together, and how much that makes somebody more employable. So we're looking at not only building the jobs, but also making sure the education and the literacy programs are available for our immigrant communities who need the services.
Councilwoman, draw a contrast. There are 3 Democrats running. Obviously, it's a primary, and everyone says, well, basically the positions, they're all Democrats. How do you distinguish yourself from your 2 opponents?
We are different. I think I'm more moderate than my opponents, although, in a lot of ways, I'm very much independent. I'm running without the county endorsement, and when I'm out there talking to voters, they like that. They like that, I'm an individual, and I'm not afraid to stand up for what I believe in, and they appreciate that. They will be the people who will decide. It's the voters out there. And we had a good debate yesterday, my 2 opponents, and we saw areas that we were clearly different. Roy Lansman wants to raise taxes on small businesses and middle-class Americans, people who are trying to support their families. And we really need to be looking at a fair tax system where we're taxing the wealthiest of New Yorkers and not the small businesses or those that are just entering into the middle class.
One of your opponents, Councilwoman Assemblywoman Graceman, showed an impressive fundraising numbers. How do you compete with that amount of money? Again, the election is, 11 days away?
Sure, but you know what? Did she show you any of the polls? The people, how the people will vote will make the difference in the election. People will come out. Grace Meg has already outspent me more than 2-1. So if she out-fundraises me 2-1, it's not going to make the difference of a win here. What she's ultimately doing is getting her message out there. She may be doing it in a more vigorous way, mailing every day or phone banking every day, but my voters are hearing from me and they're getting my message. And I like to take my message door to door. And although I'm not going to be able to reach all, 710,000 constituents of this district at their front doors, I'm meeting thousands in the morning at train stops, I'm meeting hundreds in the afternoon at senior centers or schools, and in the evening I am going door to door. So we're meeting, I've already met tens of thousands of voters in this district, and we're doing direct mail and phone banking, and our campaign is very excited. We're going to have the best get out the vote operation, and we're going to win on June 26th.
Councilwoman, draw a contrast quickly, and we'll wrap it up with Councilman Dan Halloran, the Republican.
Oh, well, you know what? One thing I didn't say before about my two Democratic opponents is that I've actually ran against as a Democrat against Republicans. So I have a track record of beating Republicans. We're vastly different. I mean, the person who represents most of this district right now is a Republican, and Bob Turner. So we know that people could vote Republican in this district. We need to make sure that we elect on primary day a Democrat that could take on the Republican. Whether it comes to women's health issues, equality issues, ways we can work on reducing the deficit. Those are three clear areas that I differ from Dan Halloran on. But the conversation with Dan Halloran will start on June 27th, and for now it's showing the people of the district who the best voter is, who the best candidate is for them to come out and vote for on June 26th.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Continued success. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.